Well, hello everybody, welcome back. It's episode 4 now of our Stick and Ribbon in Focus lockdown specials, and we've got a lovely local lady again today, Helen Orrock, also known as the Interiors Lady. So hello there, Helen.
Hello everyone, nice to see you, Sally.
And you too. It's great just to see a different face every now and again, isn't it?
It is, absolutely, yeah, it is, yeah.
So thanks again for saying you get involved with our little interviews.
Yeah.
So what I thought we'd probably start off with, as we've done with everybody else, is just a bit of an introduction about what you do and how you've come to where you are now.
Okay, yeah, so I'm Helen, I'm the Interiors Lady on Instagram for all of you that are on Instagram, and my story is basically, I think ever since I was young, I've had an interest in interiors that then was suppressed, and I went off in all sorts of different directions. And then unfortunately I was diagnosed with cancer, and to get me through my cancer journey, I focused on a dream of always opening my own interior shop, which is what I did. So, through all the horrible treatment and everything, I sourced products, suppliers, and then finally, when all the treatment and everything was over, I realised my dream and opened a little bricks and mortar shop over in Derbyshire, Melbourne, where I used to live.
That's where we first met as well, isn't it?
It's absolutely where we first met, yeah. And yeah, because I think it was one of your pop-up. I can always remember buying one of your fabulous shirts with a little nude invisible sort of vest underneath it, and I still, the shirt's sort of long gone, but the vest's still one of my favourite little pieces. So I had the shop, and then eventually I relocated back to Nottingham, which is where I'm from. And then the commute just got too much for me, and the market was changing, retail was getting really hard. And so I moved over to Nottingham, and then found a project which took me on a totally different journey then. And I've basically recently renovated a Victorian house that hadn't been touched for over 55 years. So it was a real test, really. But as soon as I walked in it, I knew I could see the finished product. It was quite an emotional thing, and I've really enjoyed sort of bringing it back to life. And now my sort of I do a mixture between all of those things, really. So I help other people find inspiration in their own home, and some of it I do as traditional sort of interiors where people need help. They need a mood board, and they need help with every element of me, helping them with paint colours, window dressings, everything. And then other people just need maybe just a little bit of help to actually realise their style, rather than they I don't know, fall down an Instagram rabbit hole or see different images in magazines, and rather than finding their own style, they copy bits of everyone else's, and it just doesn't work.
Sounds quite similar to what I do as well with the ladies who come into the shop, and everything you've described is about the wide range of people that we come across, and it is about really owning your own style. And I really believe that, because it just helps you. It helps you shop, whether it be for your home or whether for your clothing, and it also actually saves you quite a lot of money as well, doesn't it?
It does, and I think the thing is as well, I think there's a real connection as well. There is a real connection between what you do and what I do, and it took me years, and I'm sure we've all been on these roads of discovery, but my penny finally dropped for me when I suddenly one day thought that the things that I'm drawn to are exactly the things that I wear. So sort of quite classic, simple styles, mostly sort of monochrome palette for myself, but very simple and timeless, really. And it was like, oh, and that dawning was just, and so like now for me, my house is my house. All of the things that I've got in it work in every room. So if I want to freshen things up, I don't have to buy new things. I can just place things in different, it's almost like a capsule wardrobe, but for interiors. And you know how valuable a capsule wardrobe is. So and that's sort of what I wanted. This was a downsize for us with this move. So for us it was making the most of the space, but also it had to include some quite big pieces of furniture that we'd already got that were timeless, and that, you know, that are quality and that need to sort of carry on and stand the test of time. So I also help, you know, like you, helping people find their style. And maybe sometimes it's as simple as having a bit of a declutter, having a look at what they have got, what they actually really love, but rearranging it in a different way.
Like a wardrobe cleanse.
Yeah, and you know what? I always get messages from the husbands, because I think quite often they're the ones that will think, oh, you know, an interior designer, I don't see the value in that. But then I always get a message saying, thank you so much, you know, I've got my wife back. She's fell in love with my house and it didn't cost me a penny apart from the fee that I charged them. And so, you know, they haven't had to go back and have new curtains or anything, because I've actually got really nice things in the house. There's just too many of them all in the same space.
Yeah.
So, so that's what I do now. It's a mixture of I suppose, I pick out the best bits of my job that I enjoy doing, and that's it's helping people to fall back in love with the house.
Yeah. It's interesting that you say about the relationship between clothes and your house, because I did an interview with someone the other day, the reverse of what we're doing today, and I was asked about how, without, at the moment, if you wanted to go out and find your own style, and I actually said that it's quite a good thing to actually look in your own home, because if you've got a certain style in your home, that probably follows through to your clothes as well. And I think that once people start to try and do something because their friends or people they've seen look nice in things, that's when they get really confused and everything starts being a little bit of a mess, and they never end up really seeming happy with what they're wearing. And it is so similar to the clothes.
It is. And I mean, there's even a hashtag on Instagram that is hashtag dress like your home, and literally, you know, I know that I really do. And the other thing is, and I'm sure you'll do the same with how you bring out that style in your ladies, you've almost given them their own sort of shopping list, that literally they know what their style is now. So instead of going to look for they know their style is, I don't know, a wraparound dress or a shift dress or whatever, or what a certain style of jean, and they haven't got to go like trawling through the rest of it, because they can just go straight to their style and choose the colour or the fabric or whatever. And the same with what I do. It's that, you know, once I know what my colour palette is, I know what my taste is, and because I've got quite a simple interior, I love texture. So, but I know the colour palette, and I can just go in and straight away I know what will work with what. And I do the same with garden. I don't have separate things for outdoor. I just grab things that I've got indoors and take them outdoors, because why do you want cushions that are in the shed going mouldy when you've got nice, you know what I mean? It's just making things work for you. You don't always have to, you know, sort of buy well.
Yes.
And you'll be, you know, that's the same thing, you know.
Yeah. And in fact, we should mention your gin deck as well, because if anybody is wanting a bit of inspiration for outdoor living at the moment, take a look at Helen's Instagram, because she's got the most amazing outdoor area with this gin deck. I always just want to pop over and come and sit out and have a quick drink with you.
So, soon.
So your style is quite a minimal style, and I think it is about owning your own style, and actually you know that works for you. Some people might feel that they could get very bored with that, so it's quite interesting that you say that you move things around. Is that how you make that work for you, so you don't get bored?
I think for me, I know I actually like negative space. I don't, you know, like some people will see a wall or an area and think, right, you know, what can I do to fill that space? And they literally fill the whole area with furniture, all of the walls with, you know, art or whatever. But for me, it's a feeling as well. It's not just a look. It's creating the ambience and everything. So for me, I like negative space. So that means, you know, blank walls. The same with art. I quite like leaning things on radiators or on shelves or whatever. I don't necessarily have permanent things fixed. And I do move things around. And because I am, you know, comfortable with my style. I don't get bored. I was actually speaking to somebody the other day that we were chatting. I was doing a piece for their blog, and he asked me a question, and I didn't have to think about answering it. And his question was, what would I change, having done the renovation and only finished it and moved back in 2019? Had I made any mistakes, and are there anything that I would change? And I didn't even need to think about it. And I said, no, I don't need to change anything. And if I did the renovation today, I would choose exactly the same.
That's fantastic.
So I know, and so that's how comfortable it feels. And that's why, you know, I think if trends come and go, and you know what they're like with fashion, and this, you know, interiors always follows the catwalk. So if you look at, you know, you'll know yourself, you look at a fashion trend, you know, it could be a print on a you know, some fabric or a colorway or whatever. It always, you know, the interiors always follows the catwalk. So what I've always said is that if you are going to invest in a trend, you can buy accessories, and you can actually buy, you know, quite reasonably priced accessories as well. So if there's something that really sort of screams out you as I want something and it's on trend, what I'd say is buy a few accessories and then just add those into the mix, because you can always take them away. If you use too much to start with, or you paint bold colours, or, you know, you have expensive curtains made or whatever, and then it turns out to be something that you change your mind on, it's a huge mistake and it's a huge waste of money. Whereas I think if you just introduce those bits that are on trend, you can swap them out again.
Yeah, I've never really thought how similar what you do and what we do as well. And, you know, that would be the same for me, you know, pop a little scarf, or if it's a particular colour and you're not sure of it, you know, buy a scarf in that colour and see how you get on with it, rather than buying a whole outfit and then feeling you've wasted a load of money. So yeah, that's really good little tip, that one. So thinking about top tips, I just thought while we're in lockdown and everybody's pretty much doing the same as what I'm doing and doing quite a lot of decluttering, I just wondered if you've got a few top tips to give us about decluttering.
So what I always say with decluttering, and it's not, you know, it's like having a sort of, I mean, obviously I've got a more minimal aesthetic, but you don't have to be ruthless. You don't have to have nothing. You know, I've got a minimal home style, but I'm a minimalist with stuff. So what I always say is, if you want to have a more minimal look in your room, take all of the things out, take all of the pictures and the knickknacks and things off your shelves and everything, take everything out, strip it back to its bare bones, and then think about how you actually want it to look, rather than going with what's there because you've got it. And so what I'd say is, if you take everything out, you know, maybe put them on the table or whatever, and then just put some key pieces back and see how you feel about it. And if it's something like a precious treasure, or, you know, I don't know, something that your granny left you and you daren't not have it, just take it out for a while, and then maybe, you know, see if you can sort of live without it being in there. You don't have to be ruthless and get rid of it forever. You could always store it or put it in a different room, but you can have a declutter and, you know, take the things out and only put back what you seriously really want in the room, rather than what you've got to have.
Well, thanks, Helen. That's been so interesting, and I've absolutely loved how we've been able to sort of merge what you do and what I do together, because I think there's so much synergy there, and about making people feel great about what they've already got. And I think there's quite a lot, everybody's got lots of hidden treasures, haven't they, that they've never really thought about using things in a different way, whether for me it's a skirt or a blouse or a scarf or a pair of shoes or something. You can do pretty much the same with pictures and what have you. So it's been really interesting. So thanks so much. We'll pop a link at the end of this, which will have your Instagram. So hopefully people pop on and follow there. You'll see the transformation of Helen's house as well, which is amazing. So
and if anyone wants, you know, has got any interior questions, just, you know, jump on my Instagram and DM me, and I'll try and help you.
Brilliant. Thanks so much. Well, you take care of yourself, and I look forward to popping over and having a gin on your gin deck.
Yeah, we'll have to do a fashion show out there when we can all get together.
Fantastic. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, Helen. It's lovely to see you. Bye bye.